Hello everyone, Don Saladino coming to you from Drive 495 in New York City, and I'm so excited to be back right now. I've got a really exciting video that I am really looking forward to sharing with you right now, and it's a golf-specific training video, but we put a little twist on it. We will be torching belly fat. So I've been answering a ton of questions from you guys day in and day out. One big question is how do I get my golf-specific muscles in shape, but while I'm doing it, I want to burn some belly fat. So you know what? I'm thinking if you're not interested in swinging the club better, if you're not interested in hitting the ball further, and you're not interested in burning some body fat, then turn this off, because this definitely isn't for you. But if you're into it, I want you to come along with me for the ride right now. We're gonna have a ton of fun, and let's get started. All right, here we go. We're about to start day one of the upper body workout. But before we get going on all that stuff, I'm introducing you to my friend called the foam roller. You're gonna start every workout with this. We're only gonna spend about 5 minutes max on it. Really simply, putting it on the floor, sit on my butt, I'm gonna stack each leg, and I'm gonna do about 10 to 20 passes on the right calf. Now the idea here is to find a little bit of a hot spot. You should feel a little sore, maybe a little discomfort. It shouldn't be painful, but just start nice and easy. I promise you five days of doing this, and it's gonna feel a lot better. As you saw, I just switched legs. We're doing about 10 to 20 passes, and we're gonna work our way up the chain. Next thing we're gonna do, hamstrings, 10 to 20 passes. Now for me personally, the hamstrings I don't feel much on. So I'll kind of go into 10 passes and then I'll switch. On the areas like the calves or the hips, you know, I'm doing 20, 30, sometimes more, because I just feel like my body needs it, okay? Moving up to the glute. Just supporting my body's weight here, folding one leg up. You can watch this in front of the TV. You can do this before the workout. I want you to do it before your workout, but if you want to add in additional work during the day, it's a great thing to get in, okay? So right there, I just did the calves, the hamstrings, the glutes. I'm gonna now move to the hips. This is the one that gets people. So if it starts feeling a little uncomfortable, put that one leg down, roll back and forth 10 to 20 times. We're gonna roll over, get the quad 10 to 20 times. I'm gonna roll to the other side of the body 10 to 20 times, okay? Each side of the body is gonna feel a little different. One area might be a little bit more sensitive than the other. The last thing I want you to focus on is getting the thoracic spine, the mid-back, and the lats. So what we're gonna do is in here, you can start with your arms across your chest. If you start getting a little good, you can put your arms overhead. Roll to one side, roll to the other side. I just want this done for 5 minutes. That's it. It's part of your routine. It's a great way to get the body loose, moving around on the ground. For some of you out there, it might feel a little uncomfortable moving on the ground like that. It's what our bodies are meant to do. We did it at, when we were, a toddler. We were crawling around the floor and rolling around the floor. We want to kind of slowly get you back into moving that way. Really healthy for the body, and you're going to see benefits of it really, really quickly. All right, let's move on to the work now. First movement we're going to do here is called a reach back. Okay, what I want you to do is we're going to try and sit onto our heels. If you can't, don't worry about it. You're able to come up into this position. Remember to put a mat or a cushion on the floor. Can get a little intense on your knees. Hand and forearm straight ahead. Your opposite hand behind your back. And I'm going to reach back to the ceiling. I'm going to look straight up. That's 1 rep. I'm going to perform 10 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, okay? We're gonna switch, and notice if you feel a discrepancy in sides. I know it's a little bit more difficult for me to rotate to this side. It's probably because I played a lot of golf, a lot of baseball in college, and I was used to rotating to one side a lot more. So don't get discouraged over that. It's part of the sport. 6, 10 reps. So you notice I have a nice pace. I'm not out of control. That was 10 each side. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna lay flat on your back. For those of you who are new to this, let's start with 2 legs. We're gonna start with a 2-legged glute bridge. I'm trying to squeeze my glutes as I'm driving my hips to the ceiling. Hands can be either across the chest or on the floor. On the floor is a little bit more stable. So we can go for 10 here, or for those of you a little more advanced, we can go into 1-legged. 2, 5, 6, 7. I'm really trying to push through my heel of my grounded foot. One of my favorite warm-up movements here. I mean, this is what really gets my glutes
You know, I travel a lot. I sit at a desk. I'm doing emails. You know, I'm just always fighting that poor posture. And I know the first thing that happens when I'm sitting a lot, I feel like my glutes are almost not working the way that they should. And because of this, a lot of times our backs and our rotation, they don't respond the way that we expect it to. So this is a great, these first two movements are working on rotations, working on glute activation. We're gonna stand up now, we're gonna work on some balance and we're strengthening the whole back side of the body, okay? This is called an inverted hamstring. So hands up, we're gonna dive forward and up. We're gonna go for 10 each leg. And if you feel like you're losing balance, just reset your feet. If you lose it, just drop that back leg. You don't have to be perfect here. So we're going 3 here, 4. Why am I doing this with my hands? Because I'm trying to externally rotate the shoulders. Again, working against a lot of this, which I want to get you out of. I want to get you in here. Let's go 2 more. The idea is, though, to do a set of 10 each leg. Really simple warm-up, 1 set each, 15 to 30 seconds rest, going from one movement to the other. If you don't feel winded and you can attack it at 15 seconds, fantastic. If this is something that you feel a little out of breath on and you need a little bit more time, take the 30 seconds, whatever it is. As you do this more and more and you get more and more shape, you're gonna be able to take less and less time, which means we're improving our recovery, which means we are interval training, which also means burning body fat. So goal specific, but also we're gonna torch that body fat. Let's go on to the next series. This is part of our dynamic warm-up. Now this is where you're gonna feel like you're getting your heart rate up a little bit, but we're also gonna be moving the body in different directions. We're gonna get the body a little explosive also. The first exercise we're gonna start with is called the lateral bound. Now, what I love about this movement is we can start easy. The more confident we feel, the more intensely we can go at jumping. But for right now, I want you guys, just to be safe, we're gonna start nice and easy. So what I want you to do is we're gonna jump, land, stick the landing. Notice how I'm doing a really easy jump, okay? We're getting those hips to move. Ideally, down the road, as we develop confidence, we're gonna be able to explode a lot more and really develop that hip speed and power that we're looking for. You're gonna notice too, by us moving back and forth 5 to 10 times, that heart rate is gonna get elevated and we're gonna be burning that body fat. Okay, so we're gonna start with that. It's gonna be 1 set, 5 to 10 reps each side. After you do that, we're gonna now move on to a lateral med ball slam. Let's go. It's great that I have access to all this fantastic equipment, but if you don't have a med ball, I want you to get try a pillowcase. Load it up with some towels. It does not have to be heavy. This is more about just moving it with some speed and some intensity. I'm gonna go 5 to 10 reps each side. Now, what size med ball do you use? I'm using an 8-pounder. I would even say that's a little heavy. Start light, 2 pounds, 4 pounds. For those of you who feel a little stronger, you can go with 6, but this is not about going heavy. This is about keeping it light and moving it with some speed. Take your 15 to 30 seconds to recharge your battery, making sure that your transition to the next exercise is a good one. I don't want you so out of breath to where you're going into the next movement and you're exhausted. This is about developing some speed, getting that heart rate up, and just having consistently good movement every single time, okay? So let's move on. The next movement is something called a suitcase carry. I'm gonna walk over to the rack, I'm gonna pick something up. Now, it doesn't have to be a kettlebell. It could be dumbbells. You could take 2 suitcases from your home. You can load it up with some books. You can get creative, but you know, I'm in this great gym here, so I want to use what I actually have. So really simply, we're going to start with excellent posture, looking straight ahead, and I'm going to step, step, step. We're going to go roughly 25 to 50 yards, and I never want to get to the point where you start losing that posture. If you feel this at any time, you probably need to lighten up. My whole theory on this, and it's what's worked for me for a long time. Let's start easy, let's build that foundation, and let's build slowly. Rather than jumping into something and going too hard and potentially getting hurt, we can build a really good foundation day in and day out, build on it, and you're gonna notice that 1, the workout's fun, you're not gonna be killing yourself, and you're also gonna see a lot of progress. So, 15 to 30 seconds in between all 3 of those movements, let's move on to the real work.